So, welcome everyone. For those of you who are first timers, this is number 13, open mic night number 13. So we've been running this every month for just over a year. And I was just saying to Kev tonight, I think we're going to become a bit of an institution. Quite nice for people to sort of have it on their calendar every month to come. Because we do get quite a few regulars, which is great. We have a nice long list tonight of readers. So I will probably be asking you to maybe read a bit less than you might have. If you're reading an extract from something, up the back is going to be videotaping tonight and putting it up on YouTube. If you don't want it yourself up on YouTube, please tell us and we'll edit you out. It's a really good practice to get up and speak in front of people, and it's a good practice to have yourself on camera and see how you perform. It really helps your craft, whether it's writing or singing songs. So well done for coming. For those of you who feel nervous, I am probably the least likely to get up 120 pieces, and I said I can't put them all up on the wall, so we have some here to look at. Please put gloves on if you want to have a look through, but please have a look, they're gorgeous. There's no obligation to buy anything if you have a look through them. Of course, if you want to purchase something, we have credit card facilities. The exhibition will be up till the 24th of this month. And obviously the ones with a little red love heart have already been claimed by people, so you can't have those ones. Next month, we have a new exhibition by Eric Ship. He's a local in Monty, and very different work again. That will be up for a month. And there are, up on the tower, and you saw inks and everything, so they're really kept with the whole sustainability idea. They're really gorgeous, and they're only $5. I think they actually cost more than $5 each to print, but it was done through a Vanuatu community grant, so they wanted to keep it at an affordable price. They're going to be launching that here on the 30th of July. So that's also an invitation if anyone's interested, let me know. I've got some other things to talk about, but we'll get stuck into some writing. So reading. I'm going to start with Larry. Larry's going to read us a short story, Till I Touch the Sky, a memoir. Yeah. Come on up. I didn't know you were French.
The French has got nothing to do with the writing, it's my lucky hat. Now, I am nervous, I've forgotten my name.
It's Larry.
Yeah. I've written a piece, this is about my grandfather, Pop. This week it's his 45th anniversary of his death, and so this week I decided to write my memoir, because he's such a big part of it. And yeah, so it's 45 years, and it was quite important in my life. I didn't really have a father much, and so there's not really a week that goes by that I don't think of him. So this is called Till I Touch the Sky, and this may be for the opening of the memoir. 69. He was everything to me. My young, tender life shattered. I had never seen anyone die before. It seemed so well, forever. His obituary read, Jim Cornell, a funny and generous man, a storyteller, a proud soldier, and one amazing pop. That was my bit. A gentleman who carried a smile that made you feel special. For such a big man and a big life, his obituary in the Melbourne Sun, however, seems so tiny. When it is all said and done, do our lives count for a mere 20? Winter turned to summer and then back again to winter. Mum told me that time would heal a broken heart, so it was hard for me to understand why I continued to lose so many tears. I can still see his medals and his bullet-scarred legs, although I must admit, with the passing of each season, the stories that accompanied each adventure, fancy colour paper with bright ribbons and bows like mums. Pop's cone wrapped in brown paper, tied with short string and long hugs. They were anything but plain. Pop would always make me guess what the present was. He would always say, "It may well look and feel and smell like a book, but never judge a present by its cover. If you can guess right, a wish can come true." Different, but it was always the same. Precious. There was this one time, however, when my present didn't look and feel and smell like a book. It wasn't even wrapped in plain paper. It was round and light and came in a fancy Myer department store gift bag. It was real flash. Open it, Mum insisted. First I have to guess what it is, don't I, Pop? It's a book, I laughed. Close. Well, keep studying hard, boy, and one day you might even get to go here. Pop pointed to the very bottom of the world. I've always dreamt of one day going to the frozen white continent, Antarctica. Why would you want to go there, Pop? They say it's a journey more extraordinary than anything you can imagine.
Thanks, Larry. Larry's got lots of great travel stories, so now I know where that comes from, your love of travel. Okay, Jess. Where's Jess? Jess is going to come up and sing us some songs, maybe 2 songs.
In the box, just waiting for me down. Just run crazy, things in my head. You wouldn't believe it, you wishing you were dead. Now I'm gonna celebrate, cause I know you care. It all looks so pretty, when you realize it was all in your head.
everyone else, and good evening, everyone. Blaise's little talk at the start was very good for what I'm going to speak about tonight. So, inevitably, we're choosing the only way to improve, and it's an invaluable exercise, and I thank Blaise and Kev for making this available to all of us, especially for those like myself who are very uneasy about standing before an audience. Many of you would have heard about such speaking organisations as Rostrum, and when my turn arrived to speak, I gabbled away in some nonsensical manner as though just learning how to form my words, and sounded to myself like some backward third grader at primary school, as opposed to a woman with one iota of intelligence. Looking at the ceiling for inspiration continued. It was the act of paying silent, speechless at a speech-making club. I could feel her pain, I could feel her embarrassment. It was almost tangible. The deafening silence lasted for at least a full minute, and I forgot about them. And when I realised how caught up I'd become in my desire to improve after just one session, I was really eager to return. Looking to the ceiling for inspiration didn't help me much, but I knew for certain that I would return.
Can I call up Gay? Gay is going to sing a song and maybe some poetry. I have to come down a little, sorry.
Can I tell you I love you? Can I tell you I love you, my dear? Can I tell you how much I think of you every second, every day of the year? Can I tell you how much I think of you? Sorry, I've mucked it up. Can I start again? Yeah. I'm puffed from running around there, that's happening. Let me try it. Can I tell you I love you? Can I tell you I love you, my dear? Can I tell you how much I think of you every second, every... Thank you, that was very good. And I'd just like to read one little poem. I wish I was a tidy person, organised and neat. I wish there wasn't lots of things around about my feet. There's crockery in boxes underneath the bed and papers on the table waiting to be read. The pantry's awfully cluttered, especially up the top. I suppose it might be helpful if I cease to shop. I wish I was a tidy person with it all my time. A tidy house would be divine. Thank you.
Gay has a collection of poetry that she's published, but she's going to have to bring some more up here because they're sold out. Beck.
It's lunchtime in the Collins Street food court. I turn around and there she is, Angela, sitting alone, coffee in hand and head in a fashion magazine. So this is it, chance I've been waiting for, the chance to finally stand up to her. I know exactly what I'm going to say. I've been practicing the lines ever since. In the mirror, in my dreams. Whatever doesn't kill you. But right now I feel like the only thing holding me together is a couple of threads. This is ridiculous. I'm not that naive 16-year-old anymore. It was so eager for validation and quick to trust. I may have believed Angela was my best friend once, but now I know better. Best friends don't act like they're furious with you but refuse to tell you why. And they definitely don't spill your darkest secrets to other people and laugh about it afterwards. Even though I know this, a small part of me is saying, but she wasn't always like that. Most of the time she was wonderful. I've broken them. I expected someone to tap me on the shoulder any minute and demand an explanation, but no one did. We didn't do anything particularly special, just hung out at the beach. But I knew that it was the kind of adventure that I would tell my own kids about one day. But that was then. I have to stand up to her now. Tell her how much she crippled me with doubt. Tell her how long it took me to trust anyone again. So I walk over to the table.
Thanks, Beck. Now maybe Les will stop hounding you every week. Beck is one of our interns, and every week Les goes, you're the speaker of the night. And you do it. David, come up and read A Tale of the French Knight, please. Kathleen. Where's Kathleen? Kathleen?
She was just watching.
Sorry?
She was just watching.
Oh, watching.
Another straight there, it is. Yeah. Thank you. Well prepared as usual. Okay, the preamble to this was that invited to a musical evening at my grandson's school. And he said, "Oh, come along, Papa, I'm playing viola in the string quartet and I'm in the orchestra and I'm in the choir as well." And but it was the choir that got me. And I wrote this poem, scribbled it out on the night and spent a little bit of time editing, but not a great deal. Tender Love of Aura Lee. 40 male voices carry the song, 12 to 18, from trebles to basses they ranged. A progression to manhood there before us. Words carry on the air. In her blush, the rose was born. 'Twas music when she spoke. In her eyes, the light of morn, sparkling, seemed to break. Aura Lee, Aura Lee. I suppose they know, as surely the significance would have been explained. An evocative melody composed, words chosen describing her beauty. 1861, the outbreak of civil war. America's in the turmoil of war. Almost a century after this melody was created and the words informed of the beauty of Aura Lee, we have the tune again. Love me tender, love me long, take me to your heart, for it's there that I belong and will never part. 40 voices in sotto voce, a keyboard gently fingering, encouraging, consoled, inspired, optimistic. Aura Lee, music by George R. Pulton, lyrics W.W. Fosdy. Love Me Tender, music, again George Pulton, words Vera Matson, Elvis Presley. Thank you. Going to face grandkids again. Bright jackets run wild and free from kinder and schools on the mid-year break. Pendulous leaves of the eucalyptus tease and filter the light, teasing my eyes. Warmth is fleeting, as is the way with Melbourne in July. All aboard the miniature railway as it meanders its way through the Yarraside parkland, over the bridges, through the tunnels, waving, shrieking, excited children delighting in the ride, smiling adults savouring the joy. Off the train, the dash of colours descend on the playground, roundabouts, swings, slides, timeless source of childhood delights. Parents, mainly I notice of the grand status, watching, minding, caring, enjoying the giggles and squeals and the joy of young lives. Tonight, whose meal idea was that? Surely not mine. Home again, happy to rest, enjoy a cup of tea as the shift of minding comes to a momentary pause. Okay, bath time, girls. It's on again. Thank you.
I have a feeling that those grandkids have you wrapped around their little fingers.
Oh, maybe.
I've seen some pictures on Facebook.
I've never been here before. Jenny, my wife, and I came over from Belgrave, Ferntree Gully, which is where I used to read, but poetry mixed in. So this is about the land of Australia compared to other lands, which I think we're pretty fortunate to live in this beautiful country. Most every day I work for money. I'm overweight, I have big tummy, my fridge has food, fruit, veg and lamb. How fortunate in life I am, don't have to struggle or to fight. I'm pretty safe, so good is life. At the ready, heaps of clothes, filling up, enormous. The aim to speak in pretty tongues is contrast where the lives are done. In other lands, they're not so free, can't do the things like you and me. Where people work but don't get paid, or child brides, the sexual slaves, where folks go to the tip each day for treasures search in rubbish laid, where life's choice is sometimes learned. So what to think in Aussie here? So fortunate or hard to bear, a place where you can speak your mind, no convex bars, the iron kind, for all of us, so make the most. Methinks it's beaut, of this I'll boast. Fair sucking sav, it's pretty choice, the southern land, I will rejoice. Thank you. This is about the situation in the Middle East, which never really seems to go away, does it? It's been carrying on for probably a couple of thousand years or more, but I think every child should have the right to be able to grow up in a peaceful land. It doesn't seem to work out that way, but I think that's something as a human race we need to work towards. Ah, woe betide the Middle East, no thoughts be of collective peace, where fathers, mothers, children die, no chances left as bombs will fly, shells amass, running smooth and deep. Was this the thought when Jesus walked and lay upon the wooden tree, and evil had his presence stalked, and to this day the bloodshed see? Oh, let the little children know to live in freedom truthfully, with neighbours' borders being so, associating harmony. The cry of weeping in the street shall sound no more, let it be said. Warmongers' plans cannot repeat, no more to live in fearful dread. And the last one is tragic, and I found out about the lives of the girls who finish out on the street. And the poem that I've written, I've changed Tracy's name to Susie, but basically it's about the lives of the likes of her and the likes of the others who are still out there on the streets, and how I think they need us. Susie was a prostitute, lives in Kildaway, where she used to ply her trade and never missed a day, not because of fondness for the mugs that she met, more because the needle into her arm inject. Then you may get a group of bees, they find a lonely prey. It happened to our Susie. The brave men had a go. If anything, and Susie breathed her last. There was, of course, a human cry. A girl had lost her life. The media, they swarmed around. Police would try and find the bloke had done the killing, that he had disappeared. Of course, was just a streetie and just her mates to fear. The tale of our Susie, now gone, but ne'er a chance. Never asked did she at all to know the circumstance, and all the other women. They're still alive, it's true. They are our little sisters, it's worth a thought or two. Thank you.
Thanks, Gab. Gab has come all the way from Ferntree Gully, so well, where it travels, it's amazing. Les is going to read for us now. He's going to read an article called Bicycle.
Here? No? Well, I know the Queen song.
True, deeply so.
It's an article I wrote about cycling and the benefits it made to my health. It was published in Cycling Monthly in April last year. Anyway, you're stressed, my GP told me following your checkup. Is there anything bothering you? Bothering me? Let me see. Relationship in the shitter, no social life and work. Inanity of work. It's my previous job, not this one. People dropping in on me constantly. Can you take a look at this? Courteous, explicitly. Like this stuff for me. Cheers. Behind their fake smiles, their plastic expressions. How's that report going? Their ongoing demands, always their demands, never ending, never stopping, never... No, I said. You need a way to unwind, my GP said. A hobby. Everybody needs a hobby. Find something you enjoy doing, something that'll help you relax. Garage, but found it claustrophobic. I tried jogging, but my feet were pounded into surrender. On and on my search went, through a variety of endeavours, until I discovered cycling in the open road. That's when I believe I found the one. And even bought all the gear. Bike, helmet, reflective kit, pump, chain lock, water bottle, and even a pedometer. The whole lot set me back almost $1,000. It seemed mild, like a cool breeze, or exacerbated the high speeds on my bike. But I was invigorated, reinvigorated. I controlled the pace, cruising when possible, and speeding whenever the urge took me. Most of all, I revelled being uncaged, open and free. By the second week, I couldn't wait to finish the daily tedium of work to get on my bike. Then I learned the most disturbing thing, whoever used that. Whenever I passed somebody on a bike, they'd nod their head in acknowledgement that, hey, they were a cyclist just like me, in case I hadn't noticed. If we're going leisurely enough, there wasn't just a nod, but an entire hey, or even a, hey, how you doing? I tried to ignore it initially, tried to conveniently look the other way whenever these exchanges loomed. Hey, how you doing? Good. Somebody even had the audacity to stop to talk to me one evening when I paused at a park for a breather. He pulled up right alongside me, hopping off his bike, even before it had come to a halt, and rested it against the bench by which I stood. Hey, he said. Hey, I checked my pedometer. 3K so far. Nice bike. Thanks. I took a drink from my water bottle. Looks pretty new. Yep, I took my chain lock from my bike. Haven't been riding long, have you? Wrap my chain lock around my right hand. You're probably only just starting to feel the benefits, the muscle tone in your legs, the increased fitness, the mental well-being. Flesh popped like a burst water balloon, with a splatter of blood. There was an almighty crack, which must have been the bridge of his nose shattering, and yet what reached first in his face was surprise. That would teach him. Something must have clicked in his head then, some survival instinct, because he tried pulling away. He wasn't quick enough. My next punch caught him exactly in the same spot as the first. And he stumbled back, hitting the bench and falling onto his butt. I kept punching him and punching him until he was lying back on the bench, like a knee planted into his chest, punching him until his face... I stopped, gave myself a moment, and found my mind clear. I was filled with a peculiar but intoxicating euphoria. For the first time in many, many months, I felt awesome. Getting on my bike, I rode from the park. My GP was right. Everybody needs a hobby.
I assure you that Les is not a violent bone in his body. He loves puppy dogs. So, there you go. Thanks, Les. Bo, you're up.
Yeah.
Bo, you're going to read a short story.
Necromancy. A woman I can only assume to be Emily Prescott answers the door and looks me up and down with all the scepticism normally reserved for anyone offering door-to-door bill discounts. Then she blinks, and I perceive her putting two and two together. Thank you again, she says. Come in. Emily's house is prim and proper like her grandmother's, except she doesn't even look 30. Her husband, whose name I was told of, a display unit, The urn looks positively futuristic compared to the faded black and white photos set up on either side. So is it damaged? Emily asks me. I dig in a coat pocket and pull out a palm-sized square of stainless steel, only a centimetre or two thick. The top of the square is mostly occupied by a QR code. Some scratches and scrapes on the back. A dent on the side here from when it was wrenched out of the stone. The rest seems okay. Emily nods, her eyes pinched. Whoever those little rats were, they damaged a lot of tombstones at once. You should see what they did to Mums. It's a disgrace. Is it definitely the right one? Asks the husband. You said you found it at a shopping centre. Taps at the screen a couple of times, and I hear the ambience of a video. The squeal of children, the carefree laughter, and a matronly voice leading a rendition of Happy Birthday. Emily silences the video and finally nods vigorously. Yes, that's Mum. I guess you can put it back on the tombstone once you get it all fixed up again, I say. Maybe use a stronger adhesive this time, says the husband gruffly. Emily sobs once like a hiccup. She stands, accepting a small steel plug from me and moving slowly to the...
Pamela is going to read some of her memoir, The Early Years.
The first part of the memoir is about when my father came back from the war and a poem he wrote, but I don't think I have time for that, so I'll continue on. He lived in Edmund Street, Kettering. During the Depression, he cycled many miles daily, hunting for work, taking a small pack of sandwiches for lunch. The family was poor, no work anywhere. With dogged determination, he succeeded in getting a mundane job as a leather dresser at the Bryant & Co factory in Kettering, where, forever grateful, loyal, with rarely taking a day off, he worked until it closed. He was 75. The constant dyeing of cow skins, many colours for the shoe factories, stained and cracked his hands and fingers. But he was content to earn a guaranteed weekly wage. Kettering was a small market town, situated in the heart of the Midlands, on the coast. The countryside is steeped in history, castle ruins, old manor houses and rolling hills. Edmund Street was and is narrow with no trees, tight terraced houses linked together with small dark entries leading to segregated black yards sporting long lines. It was tight, but they were happy times. Chickens in the backyard produced eggs and a roast meal at Christmas. Father entered an allotment at the edge of town, bringing home sacks of potatoes, peas, cabbages and Brussels sprouts at weekends on his motorbike when they were in season. No school lunches for us. My parents' goal was to give their children a good education with the chance to fulfil their dreams which they had missed out on. Entertainment was limited. Family gatherings of bitter winters, icicles dangling from naked branches, slush and snow, frozen birds in the gutters, colourless streets apart from white milk bottles that dotted grey pavements, cycling to school with a cracked bleeding skin on my legs, frostbitten toes and painful chilblains on my fingers. The cold purple trees, temperatures were less intense and colour flowed back into the town. But March winds whisked ferociously through the streets, dull grey skies overhead and an incessant patter of rain for several weeks tormented us all. April showers were a relief and May heralded the beginning of good weather with the sun peeping through the clouds as we danced around the maypole. Bliss! Summer was always fun, playing hopscotch and marbles on the streets, skipping and playing ball in the road, and raiding the local orchard for apples.
I found this Conti crayon at a place called Warlock in Ottawa, and I can't find that because the density was just right for this sort of, very intricate but fine work. With the normal charcoal, you don't get that. So this is why it's, well, my favourite sonata in a way. So this does both, the sonata, because if you see some plastic with like a neck of any part of the human body, I like music. I'm not a good musician, but I like music, and I use music in my... Any time to do...
Yeah, pick one, miss.
Pick one here. And this is not my instrument. Kevin, I think, is going to let me use his guitar. It's an old Italian folk music based about this young shepherd who was near a coin in his inheritance. So it's a simple, but it's an Italian comes to Sicilian dialect music. I was going to sing something else. This is the first time I played this guitar. So I'm trying to do both. I don't know. It's not going to work. It will work because it's a man or another. Unless, would you please do me a favour? You'd have to. This is a Kingston from the Philippines. My daughter bought it for me when she used to do some volunteer work. It's an unusual thing, but I hope it works. It's going to work. Yeah. Good stuff. Taglio una canna e si fece un peschietto. Lo mise alla bocca e si mise a suonare. E lo peschietto si mise a cantare. Pecoraretto che mano mi tiene. Io sogno figlia del re Cavalieri, di giù, le frate pepe già dentro il cuore. It's cold. So now he he's trying the flute to see that it's good, it's working, even though he can't play. So that and he goes to the king, and then he Lo pecoraretto si sgomentava e lo fischietto allo re ci portava. Lo re lo mise alla bocca e suonò e lo fischietto così ci parlò.
Part of the Victorian Seniors Festival in October, and they're playing 9 shows.
Yeah.
Don't know how you get the energy for that, but anyway. We have a whole lot of dates here, which I think can stay here if anyone is interested in all the
All
dates.
free, it's paid by the government.
Yeah, all free.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Hello everybody. Sitting having a coffee with a student of mine. I teach in the writing program at Homeschooling TAFE, and he, like many of the younger students, having trouble coming to grips with what poetry is. And he said, well, you know, what's the use of poetry? And I said, well, I don't know. And he said, how many poems have you had published? And I told him, and he said, do you think your poems have changed anything? Have made anything better? And I didn't know how to answer him. Come home and was thinking about that, and I thought, yeah, I have read poems that have challenged my assumptions. I've read poems that, from other cultures that have made me think differently and have a look at my prejudices. So yeah, poetry works in subtle ways. I've got 3 poems, 2 of them are black. Sarah's made these thin sad lines, says, she don't know why, that's what she told me. She has a blade she makes them with, it shines and it's real sharp, and when she uses it, she won't let no one see. Says it hurts, but what hurts more dribbles out the lines like red pearls, plonk into the sticky pools in both her palms. Sarah's put sad thoughts, she says, in letters she's kept for months beside the length of throat, hidden, waiting under her bed. That wasn't funny. Love life. Fell in love with an air hostess, but never really took off. So I was playing. And I fell from a person. There was a mermaid whose behaviour was a little fishy. Said she was saving it for Jaws. And the chemist, very dishy, was never a prescription for happiness. Said I was a hard pill to swallow. The policewoman had an arresting personality, a real siren of the night, but we were never cellmates. Then I landed a real estate chick. I gave her several deposits, but the sale fell through. She said I was a renovator's nightmare. Finally, oh God, for heaven. Okay, this happens a lot. The man on the tracks. The man on the tracks has strong legs, has walked 6 quicks to a point midway between Heidelberg and Rosanna stations, just beyond a bend he settled on yesterday. His heart has long gone before him with all its little memories of love, of despair, the first girl he kissed, the first betrayal, drunk. His father missed his graduation.
Lucky last, Amanda.
Fairly serious one. Don't know whether to sit or stand. I think I'll stand. I had to tune my guitar today because I haven't had it out all that much, so hopefully the guitar and I can stay in tune. Two little blue lines tell me that it's real. Don't know what to say, don't know how to feel. New baby coming, my heart for the steel. I'm not ready. Two little baby feet, they hit the floor. And before I know it, she's running for more. And now where she's running, I'm not even sure. I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready. This next verse I can cry at, so we'll try and get through without crying, okay? When my sweet baby heart goes off to school, looks out at the world and she's nobody's fool. The kids can be mean, and kids can be... There I go, there I go. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready. And I know her life isn't all about me, but she's my baby and she'll always be. There's the chord. Then two babies' hearts, hands, two babies' hands, they reach out for a heart. I can see how it is, don't want me, don't think I'll ever be ready.
That just about brings us to the end of the open mic part of the night. If anyone isn't on our mailing list and they'd like to be, there is, if you didn't see it, there's a list on the table over there. We send out a newsletter once a month and tell you about the things that are happening around here, including our open mic night. But I'm going to give away some books tonight. So I gave everyone a ticket. Anyone got 17?
Yes, me.
Anyone got 17? No? Oh, might be Jess. 21.
Yeah.
21, you said yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
That's me.
have you got any of the page 17 books? Have you got any of those?
Not that one.
There you go. No, it's okay. I trust you.
Deep
I know where you live. 33.
Yep.
Yeah. One more. Number 19. Anyone got 19? Oh. 16. 16, okay. Page 17 has poetry as well as short stories. Untitled has just short stories. And the book is about how to publish a book. Okay. So please feel free to hang around and have a cuppa and some more supper, or have a chat to each other, have a look at the books, just have a look around, and hopefully we'll see you again next month. Thanks guys.